Welcome to the Con Kids movie review for this show of Dune. Dune is a feature adaptation of Frank Herbert's science fiction novel about the son of a noble family entrusted with the protection of the most valuable asset and most vital element in the galaxy. My name's Austin, and with me tonight, I got Daniel.
Hey, what's up? I'm so
What's up?
excited to be here.
Yeah, so this past weekend, Dune came out, and it's been pretty anticipated. Like, I don't know how things are over on your coast, but on my coast, there was some chatter about it.
Yes, everyone was talking about Dune. They're like, oh my gosh, it's about to be the best movie ever. Some people saying, oh, I read the book. Some saying they watched the original. My teacher was talking about it. It was hilarious. He's like, I don't know about the new movie, but the old one to me was terrible. And I'm like, okay. I haven't seen either, so I'm excited to go see it. And then when I saw it, I was like, wow, that was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this movie, it was super anticipated, like, especially for their cast. Like, their main character, you had Timothy Calumet. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. He plays Paul Atreides.
Mhm.
Atreides. You have Zendaya in there, playing the character Shawnee.
Mhm.
Then you got Rebecca Ferguson playing Lady Jessica. She's Paul's mom in this. You got Jason Momoa, Aquaman, of course. Beautiful man.
Oh man, got
Playing
a
Duncan, Idaho. Dude, oh my goodness, I loved Jason Momoa in this.
yes.
You got Oscar Isaac playing Leto Atreides the first, which is Paul's dad.
Mhm.
Um, then you got Stellan Skarsgård. Man, I'm terrible at names, but he plays Vladimir Harkonnen.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got Dave Bautista who plays Glossu Robanin or Roban.
Yep.
Josh Brolin plays Gurney Halleck,
Josh Brolin.
and then
Thanos.
tons of other guys. But this is like an all-star cast.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was. It really was an all-star cast, and I was like, they had so many. I definitely was like, when I saw this and I saw Timothy and Zendaya, I was like, oh, what? They're gonna be in a movie together? And then I saw all these other people, and I was like, what? Oh my gosh. I definitely think the cast got me watching it because I was like, I didn't even really know what Dune was. I saw this cast and I was like, okay, so this movie's a big deal. Should
yeah,
go see it.
I mean, when you have so many A-list actors in one movie, like, it's amazing. Like, it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, when's the last time there's been like a movie that had so many great actors besides the MCU
Yeah,
with their all-star group all the time?
and the fact that a lot of these guys are, superheroes.
Hmm.
Superheroes, Star Wars fighter rebels, like Thanos, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool to see how they could play this different role. So hopefully maybe they'll be known for something more than just, hey, I played Thanos. What else is he known for?
But Thanos, saw me. I was MJ. That one Spider-Man movie. It was
That one's
great.
yeah. But yeah. What do you think of the movie overall?
Honestly, overall, I really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was a new experience. And I mean, I was talking to people in my class about this literally, how like it's kind of nice to watch something that kind of brought me back to like when I was watching like Lord of the Rings. And I'm not saying the movie was like Lord of the Rings. It was definitely not like Lord of the Rings, but it kind of had like the same new world feel, like a movie I'd like to get maybe a sequel and could watch with my family. Besides like an MCU movie, even though I like the MCU, it's like this is new, it's different. It's not Star Wars, it's not Marvel, it's not even DC, it's Dune. So I was like, yes, I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I think it's gonna be like the next big trilogy. You
Mhm.
had in the '80s, you had Jurassic Park, you had Back to the Future. Nowadays, you have Marvel and you have DC. Like, you don't really have much more because Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and Maze Runner and Hunger Games, those all ended like
Yeah.
years ago. now they're adding, this new series to get, it's fun. Like another fun series to follow.
Another fun series just to follow and enjoy. Hopefully, I think they're on the right track.
Yeah. Hopefully they keep it up. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, that was good. How much do you know about the original?
To be honest, not that much. Like I said, I literally was noticed this movie because Timothy and Zendaya were in it, and it's the only thing that caught my attention. I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay, this movie's getting a lot of attention. As someone that likes watching movies, I should just go see it because Zendaya and Timothy are in it, and I know those guys a lot. I've seen them recently. It's funny because like I literally was watching Timothy and like Little Women, and then I was like, oh, he's gonna be in this movie. I'm gonna watch him in this. So that I didn't know it had even had a book. And I thought it was so fascinating to figure out that Star Wars was inspired by it. And I was like, whoa, okay, Dune's got like a whole history. Found out it had a old movie, and I'm like, okay, dude, what is this? Ah, wow. It's great because I even knew about the Hobbit books before I watched The Hobbit. Like, but Dune was like, I'm surprised I'm 18 and heard about Dune now, not like before. To even know I had a fan base.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are the con kids. Like, we're not old. Like, we're not like, our big brothers from the con guy where, they're like 40, 50. Like, we're young. We don't know these old movies.
Yeah, we have an excuse.
Sorry, Father Con guy. But yeah, it was like, I heard about it. I really don't know much about it. But other than like you said, apparently Star Wars was based off of Dune, or took inspiration from Dune, because the first Dune book came out in August 1965, while Star Wars came out November 1976, and they share so many parallels.
Mhm.
Like, so yeah.
Yeah, they do. I was like, I really saw a few of the parallels too, and I was like, and I thought that was so interesting. Like wow, this like I saw it and I was like, oh, so that was sort of the Force a little bit, even though it's like really downplayed in the Dune movie, at least. Like all the power and mystic stuff is like a little downplayed in the Star Wars. It's like the forefront. I'm like, whoa, all the mind games.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The parallels being, you got the Ben Gesserit, which are kind of
Yeah.
like the Jedi's, so to speak. The Ben Gesserit were, the Society of Nuns,
Mhm.
and this, which have been like, I don't want to say undermining, but like influencing politics for thousands of years, and mainly selectively breeding certain bloodlines to get this main character. I don't even know how to say it. I'm gonna butcher it right now. I got it written down because it's so weird. Quiz it. Yeah, the Messiah. They're Messiah,
Yeah, the Messiah guy.
which is kind of like Luke,
Hmm.
but he's supposed to bring prosperity through the universe. Which, yeah, it's really cool seeing that, but it's totally different.
Hmm.
So that was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Um. So, what do you think about the spice being such a key resource?
Oh gosh, I think that's like. I thought it was like kind of cool. I didn't really notice it. Like, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. Like, I had to probably watch it a couple times and be like, okay, spice is this main resource. But I think it's like a great little thing to like spice some conflict, spice some conflict up for this story. And I'm really curious to see its influence in like hopefully later movies. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was like nice, simple, interesting. It was kind of it also is a little funny too, just like the spice. It's like I heard all these interesting names, and then it's like everybody wants the spice. Like, wow, okay. It's kind of I'm like thinking about cooking. It's like it would be kind of funny just to think about like, oh wow, everyone just really just want the spice because they wanted some flavor on their food. in Dune instead of it being a natural resource to fly ships or something.
Yeah. Did you pick up on like how they start? I don't know, or yeah. Did you pick up on why they originally found spice and like the whole history with that?
You know, no, when I think about it, I don't remember a lot about the history. All I remember is how it's a main resource. They could fly with it, to be honest. But
Yeah. Well, I spent probably a good half an hour to an hour looking all these plot holes up. So this is what I picked up. So apparently they went to, you know, the planet that they're at. I forget what the planet was called. It slipped my mind. But in order to harvest water, but then they found spice, so they ditched the water, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna use the spice." So they sent the House Harkonnen or Harkonnen or something, the antagonist of the thing, which are the bad guys, to like rule it. And then when they dipped out and the Atreides took over, that started the whole movie.
wow, that's elaborate.
So that's apparently how. And I looked up so many other things. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's like it's funny. I looked at some stuff before I watched the movie because I was like, I can't just come into this movie with no context. Like, and I think that I think that's another weird thing because I feel like I've grown up watching movies where I knew the context a little bit before I watched it, and then Dune was like, wait, I have to do some research before I watch this movie. What? This is not an MCU movie.
Yeah. But you have to admit, that's the fun of it. Like, it
Yeah,
makes it so much more fun when you have these questions instead of everything being explained to you. Like,
yeah,
we don't want to be spoon fed, like, make us guess, make us research.
yeah. Make us figure it out. You know.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, it was great. So, what'd you think of, the whole house system, so to speak?
The house system. I
Yeah.
definitely thought it was more interesting. Like I thought that component is a lot more interesting. Like I feel like watching something like Star Wars, like, it didn't really. It was fighting, you know. It was like you got Luke, you know, has to stop Darth Vader, and it's much good guy, bad guy in Star Wars, and then you kind of have this house situation, which is like it kind of brings like an interesting conflict to the whole story. Something that's like, oh, I hope we get a little more into this. I want to see it grow. So I thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, it was definitely really interesting. Kind of brings back like a medieval kind of vibe. It's like a medieval space. Even the
Yeah,
names, like Duke, like the main Duke character, Baron, those were really cool.
yeah,
So apparently, Dune's gonna focus on the main three houses, which you got the Atreides, which was kind of wiped out by the end of the movie. You
mhm,
got the Harkonnen or Harkonnen, or man, I feel so bad. For any of the people who got really into this, I'm so sorry. But you got them, and then you got the empires, which is like a term that nobody uses. But you got
yeah,
the empire. So
yeah. Very a lot of interesting elements to kind of just. Ooh, I'm really excited to see like the drama. I'm sure there's going to be some type of political house drama in there, and I'm excited to see that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Did you know? Wait. Do you know why they sent out the Harkonnens and sent in the Atreides just for the Harkonnens to take over again?
No.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I saw this from like a website or two. So apparently, the whole backstory with that is that the Empire doesn't like, or the Emperor doesn't like House Atreides because they're military power. Like
Mhm.
they have a lot of support from all the other houses. Plus, they got some big generals like with Josh Brolin's character and you know All them, like they're some big, good military dudes. So they're already up to tier with the Emperor's, warriors. So he's like, if I let these guys, get a little more powerful, they could be our contender. And I don't want that to happen.
Mm.
So he pulled Harkonnen out and gave this sweet offer for spice so that Atreides would leave their like secure home planet where everybody can see him and go to this distant planet to farm the spice. And then that's when the two houses combined decide to kill everybody in Atreides.
What?
Yeah. And nobody really knows about it too much because it's like not really they're not really around anybody. Like, they have to go through that wormhole.
Yeah.
And their folk, all the other houses really care about is, hey, let's get our portion of spice.
That's spice, yeah.
But, that never really stops, like no one's gonna know.
Yeah. It's just gonna keep rolling, keep rolling. And I think that's like so cool though. Yeah, I think it's like cool that they have all these little points. You got your spice, you got your house problems, and then it's just you're gonna see it develop as the movies continue. I'm like, yes! Oh my gosh! I
So
don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think of his powers? Paul's powers?
Oh, Paul's. Yo, it is. It's kind of like okay, because when I saw his powers, like I definitely it is sort of like I'm trying to kind of make a comparison to like okay, how like the force ability with like the whole like make your what is it kind of like you could tell people what to do in a way with the powers, and
Yeah.
then I saw it in this, and I'm like, oh wow, that's like I like how it works too. It's like confusing but I think it has something to do with that. And I think it's really going to be cool with the whole drama with the house and the spice. I feel like there's going to be like a lot of betrayal in the story. I also don't know because I've never read the books or watched the old films, but I feel like it's going to play a big role in betraying. I'm curious how Paul's character is going to change with this power. And I'm really excited to like figure out more the context behind it too, because I thought it was like it just means plays a bigger role than it does in Star Wars. Like that power is like it's great in Star Wars, but they usually use it for like a funny part, like make the clone troopers shoot each other or something. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool seeing it play a pivotal role in Dune.
Yeah, no, it was definitely really cool. Also I really liked Paul's ability to like see things, you know. This whole Messiah character, apparently he's gonna be able to see past and future and combine that or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But but it was really cool because like he went up to the one chick who was working for the Emperor and the Freeman, which kind of guided them to like, their secondary base when they were evacuating the city. Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically like told her something that she didn't really tell anybody about losing her co-pilot, and that made her believe, and that's why she helped them. So I thought that was a really cool like hidden detail that hey, this guy looks like he's this Messiah character.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. And not to mention the what's it? What else? The tech, the
Oh
technology
yeah.
was also really interesting. I thought it was really cool how they had like what that weird little like watch band or something that like gives them like
Oh,
a like that was so like different. I was like, whoa, that is kind of cool. And like that's a great way to I thought it was a creative way to kind of just make a space shield protector armor or something. That was awesome.
yeah. Would you like to elaborate on how the shield kind of worked?
Oh yeah, I could try. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's a watch. Like you got like a nice little watch on your wrist, and I'm pretty sure they kind of like I don't know exactly what they do. They kind of like click it on sometimes, and then like this weird bubble. It looks like a bubble wrap that kind of just goes around the anyone who's wearing it. And pretty much, I guess when people attack you, it kind of stops it, almost like as if it's being pushed back by like some magnetic field. Um, and the thing is, though, it doesn't last forever, and the longer it takes for the longer that weapon or whatever attacks is there, it's gonna end up bleeding through. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but some things happen because of that. And I thought it was pretty cool, and also a great way. It was like a great way to hide like gory parts too. I'm like, pretty cool. I honestly want one myself now.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. I like the little air blimps. So
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're mining it, they have like these big old I don't even know, like big. It looks like a Roomba, but on the desert.
Yeah, yeah. It looks dope.
But whenever sandworms, which are like the big worms, in the sand,
Mhm.
came, they sent these little drones, like these huge drones, to go over them,
Mhm.
go over the Roombas, lift the Roombas up, and like an air blimp just inflates with air, and they just start lifting up. And I thought that was
Yeah,
super cool.
that was really cool. I was like, whoa, that was the way it kind of like popped up too. It looked so futuristic to me. I don't know. It was like, whoa,
Yeah,
what? The future is now in this movie. Seriously.
yeah,
I think I mean they did a great job with the special effects. Like I really do appreciate when I watch Dune. Like I got some really different material, like really different material. I got these bubble wrap, like a blimp, like this blimp. Just it looks like it was like developed so well. I'm like, wow. Not to, and the aesthetic was so strong. Like I think like I was just when I watched, I saw like palm trees. I'm like, dang, palm trees in space? Okay, let's do it, dude.
yeah. No, if you like bubble wrap and hot air balloons, this is the movie for you.
Yes. If you like anything related with balloons and bubble wrap, please watch this movie. It's great.
Yeah. So where do you think this series is going in the future?
Man, I that's kind of a hard question to even tell. Like I don't really know what this series is going to do. And I like that cuz I it's been like it's kind of hard for me. Most of the times, you can kind of predict where a story might be going, but I don't know where Dune's really going. All I could say is that I definitely feel like compared to most movies I'm used to watching as of like today, with like a lot of action as the focal point, I feel like definitely Dune, and what makes it different is that the communication and like the the big drama scenes are going to be the biggest moments in like the whole like series. It's not going to be the big lightsaber fight or the final boss with Thanos. It's going to be like those very important conversations that are going to really be the big impact in this movie. And I think and it will probably make like I'm sure it will make like some of the fights a little bit intense. I thought it was interesting like cuz with the fight Paul has kind of near the end of the movie, like the fight wasn't like flashy or anything, and I wouldn't say it's like the greatest fight ever in cinema history. Um, but I definitely feel like it had an emotional impact, even though a lot it wasn't like a big fight. Like it wasn't even like really huge, but you could tell like Paul's mind was going through a lot of stuff in that fight. You notice he didn't want to make certain decisions, and like you got all of that intention just by seeing all the background this guy's going through and how he doesn't want all this weight on him as a character. So I was like, that pretty cool. I want to see more of it, and I'm willing to go on the ride. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this is definitely gonna have a future. I'm gonna relate it to kind of how like The Hobbit and all these other like Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, The Hunger Games, Maze Runner. I kind of want to say Divergent. I wasn't a big fan of that, but kind of how like that phenomena was. I feel like that's what this series is gonna have. Like it kind of had some rough critics, for this first movie, but I feel like when the second movie comes out, that's when the fandom's gonna start and everybody's gonna start, going up and hyping it up, and it's gonna be really cool. It's definitely gonna be cool seeing some more character development, a little more action, a little more just
Yeah.
living on the land. I think,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be really cool. Real quick question though. Um, so wait. So if Shawnee, which is Zendaya's character, was the only dating option, would you be cool with that? Or if not her, who would it be?
I would say that's fine. Like that's a fine that's a fine option. I mean, I'm cool with that. I think I literally remember it. Like I'm pretty sure today was like half of my childhood. I mean, I grew up watching Disney Channel, so I'm fine with that. I
Yeah,
know a lot about her already, so I think it could work.
yeah. I mean, Shawnee's a baddie in this, but I'm gonna be honest. Jason Momoa will have my heart. Like, oh my goodness, that man was so cool. He has everything. He is the comic relief. He is the
He
he
is
is the
funny.
little knife battles. Like he's awesome. Like
Yeah,
he murdered an entire he murdered probably a third of their army in this movie.
that him in the movie was pretty dope. I was like, dude. Okay, I don't know if this is bad to say, but I liked it even better than seeing him as Aquaman for sure. I was like, I was much more interested in this character.
No, I agree with you. It was awesome. So, so let's figure out where would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being this is the greatest movie I have ever seen, and 1 being why did I spend 2.5 hours of my time watching this?
Yeah, that is a very. I want to go with a 9. I don't want to make it. I don't want to say it's perfect because um, I do like. I appreciate it more like just the fact that it was different, like different all day, and I could tell that they really tried on the movie, and I feel like the movie was definitely planned out for like a next part. I feel like that's how the movie was kind of based on a little bit. I feel like Dune just as a standalone movie though, if it was guaranteed to never get a second movie, I'd probably just give it a like a 9 just because that ending really throws you off. Um and it could be like, oh gosh, like whoa, wait, like it. Okay, I don't know if I'm the only one that felt this way, and I still really like Dune. But after watching the whole film of Dune, for some reason the ending made me feel like I was at the beginning of the movie again, which is really weird. But I didn't think it was bad because of that. But it definitely made me feel like, wait, our journey's just beginning. Whoa, like the whole movie felt like a huge introduction to this bigger story. And it's fair because at least I know this from the books a little bit. I didn't read it, so don't quote me on this, but um, I definitely know that the book has a lot of material. It's not an easy to read book, so I give them like some props just for tackling it in a pretty well done way. And I mean, it's like you said, like I'm pretty sure the second movie it's gonna just blow everybody away. Like I have a feeling the second movie is gonna be great. And I feel like when the first movie, when I feel like I'll be able to give the first movie a 10 once that second movie comes out. I'm sure. It's just like it feels like it was missing that one little piece. But I feel like they did it on purpose.
Yeah. Personally, I'm gonna get really specific because I know there's gonna be other movie reviews, and then ranking them is gonna be difficult. But I'm gonna have to give it an 8.7 as a standalone movie. I mean, if no other movies like they cancel all of the following movies, which I highly doubt they will for the high box office they were able to get for this movie. Um, but I think as a standalone movie, it was beautiful. I love seeing the cinematography of it, the new
Yeah,
concepts, which were in the book, I guess, but just like a whole new type of warfare, which was
yeah,
amazing. Like the use of old vocabulary and old customs, like the dukes and the houses,
yeah,
and like the old technology combined with it's space and there's aliens and sandworms and all this really cool armor. Like I thought it was really cool. So
yes.
8.7, and then hopefully the following ones will be just as great as this one was.
Hmm.
So yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So this wraps up our Dune movie review. Um we will be back soon to review The Eternals, which comes out November 5th. Little insider tip in case you didn't know. You can go Thursdays, the day before the movie comes out, and see it around 6 or later as like an early sneak peek. A lot of people don't know that, which I'm really surprised.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
didn't
that
know
you know
that.
that, Daniel.
Oh yeah,
But
I totally knew that. Yeah.
yeah, in case you're wanting to get a little heads up before it gets spoiled, like that's something to do.
Yeah.
But we'll be doing these a lot more, whenever a big movie comes out, and
Mhm.
yeah, let us know if there's any movies that we should do.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
Say this is Daniel. Daniel. Alrighty. Well, that's a wrap for the Con Kids. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you.
We'll see you next
See
time.
ya.